Hey, good afternoon, everybody. John here at Havoc Maker Studio. So, quick video update or news update. So, this week will be a little light on Atomic Mass games until Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which is Mini Extravaganza, June 9th, 10th, and 11th. I do have some hilarious and kind of cool, maybe kind of stupid Games Workshop news, some stuff in regards to a couple of 5e supplements, and some updates possibly on Wizards of the, not updates on, but rumors of what is going on with Wizards of the Coast and Dungeons and Dragons and their future edition. Got somebody spilled the tea ish. It's still a rumor until they confirm it, but we're going to cover that. So we're going to cover that a little later on this week. Then, of course, Mini Extravaganza, Thursday, Friday, Saturday will be pretty much eating up most of our time unless some amazing news drops between now and then. So, right now, what I want to go ahead and cover is we got the Mini Extravaganza it's going to be popping up in 3 days. And some people have asked, how are we going to cover it? And I know that some people are going to be at work. They're going to be at school. They got life stuff going on, maybe kids' birthdays, and you know how that goes, and weddings and travel plans. So you're not going to be able to catch up on everything. And some people just don't want to sit and listen to 1 to 3 hour sessions hoping to grab kernels of information, only to be let down that nothing happens, or they just wait for screenshots and hopefully everything, all the blanks get filled in later. So my intention right now is at the end of each day to do at least 2 videos, or not at the end of each day, but the first video is at the end of each Marvel Crisis Protocol session, probably within about 10 to 15 minutes of it being concluded, compile my notes, do an update video concerning any screenshots, any tidbits, any if whoever the painters or the developers, the gamers, whatever it is, are dropping any information, we're going to cover that in about a 10 to 15 minute highlight video. That way you don't have to wait around all day and then give up an hour, if you're even able to give up an hour of your day. I'm going to try to grab it all, condense it into about a 10 to 15 minute video. If there doesn't happen to be anything, like let's say Sound and Fury, the Painting Nick Fury session 12 to 1 on Thursday, let's say for some reason there's nothing on there except for them once again doing another live stream painting of Nick Fury for whatever reason. That's just it. Well, we'll go ahead and cover all the opening ceremony, all the Star Wars stuff in that 10 to 15 minutes after that's concluded. And then we'll do an end of day segment. So like on Friday, there's at least there's 2 segments for Marvel. We'll do 2 recap videos for that, and then an end of day, especially end of day celebration for Friday is like a 2 hour paint session. Who knows what they're going to reveal? So that's the plan right now, is at the end of each of these, at the end of each day and at the end of each Marvel session, do an update video, at least concerning the Marvel stuff and or possibly the Star Wars stuff. So speaking of that content, this Friday, so it'll be 11 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Pacific time, we are going to be covering From Earth to Asgard. This is going to be looks like a developer and designer Q&A type session. And I think this is the only way we're going to hear about Heimdall and Scourge. I think they're going to be the only ones we're going to see pop up for Asgard. I think that's going to be it, guys. I don't think we're going to get any other Asgardians right now. We still don't know. They could surprise us, but I really do think this is going to be it. This is going to help flesh out and boost up Asgard. But you never know. They could surprise us with Jane Foster Thor, Sif, Fenris, Warriors 3. For some reason, people think Odin is going to pop up. Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Who knows? But what I wanted to talk about is this picture right here that they put up on Facebook for From Earth to Asgard has a lot more significance than just showing off all the Asgardians and highlighting, hey, this is a channel going on. At least whether it's intentional or unintentional, the possibility that this is more significant does exist, and the probability that I'm right about this, well, I would say it's mildly high. what I'm trying to come around to say is that I think Heimdall is going to be their other leader for the Asgard team affiliation. He's going to have a leadership ability. My reasoning is my past experience of running multiple men's clothing stores for the Limited Corporation and working at Games Workshop. You get a lot of training on retail displays and making sure everything is set up according usually to a planogram, but having you learn a lot about drawing people's focus to certain things. You also learn that about painting, and that it all kinds of translates, and it's fairly an instinctual thing, but I don't think a lot of people will do too much thinking about it. Now, what I see here is everybody kind of surrounding Heimdall. We got characters in the background. We got characters in the foreground. Thor's still back there. Hey, he's top dog. He's higher than everybody else. That's showing he's the significant leader there. But the way that Heimdall is still kind of bubble wrapped around everybody and has this presence kind of still above everybody. And he's kind of center stage in this entire display leads me to believe that they're showing his significance to the Asgard affiliation. And yes, I could be totally wrong. You guys might be screaming that I'm reaching there, but I think I'm pretty accurate on this. And not just, I mean, yeah, Scourge could have the leadership ability, but I don't think so. He's just kind of casually tossed down at the bottom. Now, I think Heimdall, though, I think he's going to be our leader. You guys let me know what you think about that. So I'm going to move on because I can feel some people like, you know what, John, you're reaching, or, you know, you're right, or there's going to be Odin and Sif, and you're just wrong. Maybe it's going to be Jane Foster Thor that we haven't seen yet. You guys are right. It could be any one of those. I could be horribly wrong, but I think I'm right on this one. Now, moving on. Recently, I just did a speed read because I end up doing that every time I get a new book, the Target Cree for Marvel Crisis Protocol. I'm going to go back and read it again in case I missed anything, and plus I can make it a little bit more enjoyable. And then after that, I'm going to read the Shadow Avengers, another Marvel Crisis Protocol book. Now, you might be asking, John, why are you covering this again? Well, in the past, I've made predictions about Games Workshop's content releases. Hey, we're going to be getting these new vehicles, these new units coming up for this army. A strong possibility. And largely, I've been accurate. Now, this is when I was with F&P Wargamers, and prior to that, I haven't done it too much since I've started my own channel. But we've been right about it to I would say a large extent. And it's a way for them to draw people into the game via the novels. Some people, this is their only exposure. They never thought about playing a tabletop miniature game until they read the book and they get to the back and they see that there's a game ads for for these. So the reason why I'm bringing up the Target Cree is I went through there and there was a number of people outside of the main characters, peoples and groups and beings of power that were mentioned. And I want to go ahead and cover those as a possibility that we could, of course, see in the game. I'm not going to say they are going to be there. It's a guarantee that it's going to happen. Certainly not all of these, but I just wanted to mention them because some people might not even go and read these books, but they might be curious on, you know, who else is mentioned in there. And it does have some significance because it does show who is available or who exists in universe, since each Marvel universe, like Crisis Protocol, is not the same thing as the MCU, which is not the same thing as the main comics line of 616. So how does this all connect? You know, or which teams, which villains, which heroes, which events exist in these universes. So here's what I've pulled from this, and if I miss something from the Target Cree book, let me know. I'll try to go a little bit slower on Shadow Avengers, and we can, when I do a video on that. So here's what I got. Masters of Evil, which I've covered extensively here on this channel. You can find those videos below, especially concerning the villains series that I did. Wonder Man, we covered him. Hulkbreaker, World Breaker Hulk. He's definitely one I've kind of skipped over. I could see us getting a new Hulk in the future, though I'd hope it wouldn't be World Breaker Hulk. I would be really nice to see just an updated Hulk model, maybe a Hulk versus Abomination, like a Rivals panel, like they did with Dr. Octopus and say Spider-Man. I think that would be a cool setup. The Wrecker, who we've definitely covered extensively. Celestials. I don't think we'll see Celestials because they are on a order of magnitude greater than like Hela and Odin and Thor and all of them, even Galactus. So I don't see us ever getting a Celestial. And what are they going to do? Put a toe or the top of their boot on the table, and that's the miniature. I mean, can you imagine the size of the Celestials? I could see, even though it's not mentioned, but Celestial adjacent with the Eternals. We could see that, but I think it's just tossed in there. Starbrand. Now I don't. I'm going to have to go back. I don't know if this was the current Starbrand, the young girl. She was like 10, 11, 12-year-old girl. Then she used her powers and grew up. I don't know if we're going to see that version or like the 80s, 90s version of Starbrand. But that was, if at all, the Melter, which I thought was hilarious because the Melter was like old school Marvel. I want to say 70s. The dude, I think he ran around with one of the versions of Masters of Evil, if I remember correctly. He had a belt that could melt stuff. That was it. I mean, it wasn't anything like, oh my God, the Melter, oh no, what am I going to do? He melted stuff with a piece of tech. That was really it. And then, of course, they mentioned not of course, but they mentioned Galactus as well. So these all do exist in the Marvel Crisis Protocol universe. Does that mean we're going to see them on the tabletop? No. Does not mean that at all, but it is a possibility. A couple other things I want to cover is a little bit of information about some speculation. I did miss out on concerning the animals, the pet painting session that we're going to have on Saturday. It could very well be a 2-hour paint session for Lockjaw. It could be. But I did miss out on the opportunity to talk about Squirrel Girl. Probably one of the strongest Marvel characters out there. She's defeated Doctor Doom by herself. She's defeated Thanos by herself. She's extremely powerful. And if you don't believe me, check out the comics. And I can feel some of the people that know. They're like typing right now. But also it led me to think, okay, maybe we're just taking it too literally. Maybe it's not really pets and animals. Maybe we're talking about like Squirrel Girl, the Rhino, the Vulture, and I don't know, would Scorpion kind of fall under, I mean, I guess flora and fauna, but I don't know if Scorpion fall underneath that, but still, could we be talking about those type of characters? I don't know, which led me to some discussions on Discord, and there seems to also be a strong feeling that we're going to see more Avenger characters, which is really surprising, which that could be Wonder Man and Mockingbird, some of the West Coast Avengers. It could be some of those characters. And though I doubt we're going to see more Avengers, but there is also a lot of chatter, which I'm just putting up to really wish listing the way I was reading it, but a lot of chatter concerning more Wakandans. We've talked about M'Baku first, and some people might be like, whoa, John, that's not M'Baku. Mr. Wilson, is it Winston, that plays in the MCU, has a similar, his regalia has some indications of the ape, the man-ape costume, but it's not like the full-on man-ape costume you're seeing here. But this is the original man-ape costume for M'Baku. So I think if we are going to see more Wakandans, we might see this version over the MCU version, which I would appreciate a lot more because it's a little bit more callback to the original character that I've seen in some video games and, of course, in the comics. And the White Wolf, though it sounds like now the White Wolf in the MCU, they have set up as Bucky Barnes or the Winter Soldier. The White Wolf was a white guy in the comics and now is a black guy in the comics. I'm not sure what's going on there. I think there's some retconning going on. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but there's some indication that we could be getting the White Wolf and the man ape or M'Baku. Not indications, but that some of the rumors are going on around. And I at least want to at least cover it because if the rumor does pan out, then hey, we covered it. If it doesn't pan out, well, we'll just have it sticking around for some late future video. So let me know what you guys think about any of this. Are you guys excited about Mini Stravaganza? Which sessions are you really looking forward to? What about these predictions or speculations? Am I on point or am I really off the rails here? And also, I want to give a shout out because some of the content that I've covered before was I've pulled from articles across the web, but one that I really enjoy, at least not reading, but listening to the various podcasts that they have on there, is Recalibration Matrix and the gents over across the Bifrost. They have some really good content. I like to highlight other groups out there. It's not just their podcast, but also the content on that webpage. If you're new to the game or maybe you're a veteran of the game and you just want more insight into characters and teams and tactics and such, then Across the Bifrost, and I'll have that link in the description below, is the place to go to. That's what I'm highly going to recommend you guys go check out. Anyways, you guys have yourself a wonderful Monday, and hopefully I will see you guys or talk to you guys tomorrow concerning some interesting, very interesting Games Workshop news. All right, guys, talk to you later.